What's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. Last night, during the overnight hours, around 2:13 a.m. local time, there was a significant earthquake. I wouldn't say it was large, but it certainly wasn't small either. A 5.5, very shallow, coming in at 3.9 miles deep in Mina, Nevada, and it's turned into a ongoing swarm of earthquakes. Let me go to the latest earthquakes here at the USGS, and you can see this is just in the past 24 hours. The red circles you see are in the last hour. The swarm continues as I do this video. The blue one there you see is the 5.5 that once again occurred during the overnight hours, coming in at just over 3.9 miles, right around 4 miles deep. Very shallow quake that more than likely was felt down in Las Vegas, over in California. But something else I found directly related to this earthquake was quite astonishing. We're going to come back and take a look at that here in a minute. But first, here at the website, we're going to check out the Schumann resonance like we always do. Pretty quiet all in all. A little bit of energy through the Schumann, but nothing major. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano. Different story over here today. A lot of earthquake signatures on many of the seismographs around the supervolcano caldera, one of them being the 5.5 earthquake that occurred in Nevada, and that would be right there. That's the 5.5. This one over here, I'm not quite sure what that is. We've been seeing some earthquake signatures on independent seismographs just over the past 5 days, but again, nothing major. I mean, this is the new norm, really, this type of energy around the caldera, but these earthquakes are a different story. But I will say one of these larger signatures that we see on here is definitely related to the 5.5 that occurred over in Nevada. But back to the Nevada earthquake and what I found by looking at the seismographs around the world. Granted, it wasn't a 6.0 or a 7.0. Thankfully, it was a 5.5, which again is a strong earthquake, especially a shallow earthquake. And it was picked up on seismographs, not only across the country, as you can see here, in Arkansas, Alabama, even up in New Hampshire. That's a earthquake signature from the 5.5. And I want to show you something here just real quick. This is in Lisbon, New Hampshire. And if we look at the time frame, it was in the 9 o'clock hour coming across. I know it was at 2:13 a.m., but that would be universal time. We come across, and it showed up in Nevada. This is the 30-minute, 40-minute block, and those are 10-minute blocks. Showed up around 37, so around 9:37 over in New Hampshire. Just remember that, okay? 9:37 in New Hampshire. Let's look at Arkansas real quick. And this is going to lead up to something else. Arkansas, the energy showed up at around the 25 mark, and that would be, again, in the 9 o'clock hour. And the primary wave, which would be peak energy right there, was around 9:28-ish. This is all leading up to something else, bear with me. But you can see here, Texas, Montana, Colorado, Washington, more Washington, Nebraska, pretty much every seismo. And here's the one in Nevada, Tonopah Spring. And you can see the energy was quite strong very quickly, about 18 minutes past the hour, peak energy right there. And I want to show you something that I found that I was actually quite stunned when I ran across it. That's the one that you see in Nevada, right? So I'm looking through these seismographs and I'm like, wow, this is a pretty strong signature here. Where's this one located? I just assumed that it was somewhere in the United States. No, right here. New Zealand, 9 o'clock hour. Come straight across, right there. The energy was almost instantaneous, at least with the very first wave of energy, not the primary. The primary still showed up at 9:25. The energy from the 5.5 earthquake showed up at 9:18, which is unprecedented. Here's the peak primary energy in Nevada near the 5.5 earthquake. Right there it is, 9:18. All right, this is a screen grab I took. Here's the New Zealand seismograph. Right there's peak energy at 9:25. Unbelievable. And it started right there at 9:18. So the initial quake was felt on the seismograph in New Zealand almost instantaneously, within like 1 minute. And then peak energy arrived 7 minutes later. And let me show you what that looks like on the globe. Earthquake occurred up here in Nevada, and that was 7,000, just over 7,000 miles away from the seismograph down here in New Zealand. 7,000 miles in 7 minutes. Simple math will tell you that is 1,000 miles per hour. That's how fast the energy was moving from the 5.5 earthquake from Nevada across the Pacific Ocean down to and picked up on a seismograph down here in New Zealand. 7 minutes, and that's primary to primary. It was actually felt sooner than that, but we'll just go based off of the primary wave. That earthquake, again, traveled 7,000 miles in 7 minutes. Pretty unprecedented. I've seen some big earthquakes in my day on these maps, and I've measured them just like I'm doing here. I've found little signatures on here that have traveled across the United States from, say, New Hampshire over to Oregon, and it's taken 15, 20 minutes traveling east to west. This here traveled, like I said, at 1,000 miles per hour, which is incredible. I've seen 6 and 7.0 magnitude earthquakes that have not had that type of horsepower. This was a very strong earthquake. That just tells you that everything you see here on this globe is definitely all connected. That is quite fast for a primary wave. Most primary waves don't travel that fast. Like I said, I've seen bigger primary waves that didn't travel that fast at all. And I've heard a lot of people mention, the upcoming planetary alignment. Well, here's the planetary position right now. Here's what the planets look like during the 5.5 earthquake in Nevada. And you can see we are entering a interesting planetary position. Earth and the gas giants. Those are the ones that I watch the closest. It's the gas giants, guys. I've connected too many dots over the years for it to be coincidence, and it's not like I sit and stare at this every day, but whenever I see a large earthquake, I always come up here and look at the planetary position. And way too many times have I found the Earth in some form of alignment with gas giants, whether it be Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, Jupiter, or a combination or some combination of all four, all four of the gas giants. Coming up here on December 21st, this is what people are talking about. I've seen a lot of comments come through. I've actually had a couple of emails from people. This is what we're looking at. Earth, Jupiter, and Saturn, and that is on December 21st. But can I tell you something based off of just what I've learned over the years? I'm just simply sharing it with you. Over the years, I've learned that it's not as easy as just drawing a straight line between X, Y, and Z planets. It's not that simple. I've come to the conclusion that satisfies me. It may not satisfy everybody else, but I've collected enough data over the years that I've found that there is way more than just a coincidence that these planets are in very unique positions when there's large earthquakes on planet Earth. And this here is interesting. Yes, I agree. It does occur on December 21st. Will there be a large earthquake on December 21st? I don't know. I don't think so. Based off of what we're seeing now, that's a very nice, straight planetary alignment. But it's no guarantee. Look at the planetary position today. You had a 5.5. You got Earth here, and you got Jupiter kind of off to the right, and then Saturn, and then Pluto in the background. Not as simple as drawing a straight line. Could there be an earthquake on that day? Of course. There could be an earthquake any day. But that planetary position I've seen before. I've seen actually 4 planets lined up in a beautiful straight line, and nothing happened. So again, it's no guarantee, but there is a unique alignment coming up. Absolutely. But that's, again, no guarantee. But I have found in the past that there is a connection, in my humble opinion, between planetary position and earthquakes on Earth. But once again, the 5.5, very shallow 5.5 earthquake that has led to a swarm in Nevada, southwestern Nevada. Probably was felt in Las Vegas. If you guys felt the earthquake, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I can definitely tell it was detected at the mighty supervolcano up at Yellowstone. Look at the seismos. Those red signatures are earthquake signatures, and you can see that on most of the seismographs at the Yellowstone supervolcano, which is right up in here. So once again, swarm in Nevada, shallow 5.5 earthquake that traveled all the way to New Zealand in 7 minutes. That's 7,000 miles away. Thanks for watching. Have a super day and be safe out there.